What's up guys, this is Balázs from Racing Brick. This is an unusual video on this channel as we will talk about something totally unconfirmed, more like a theory, but this can be a huge thing in the LEGO world, so I wanted to share my thoughts about it and of course know what you think. Yesterday, Promobricks dropped the bomb with their article about a possible Transformers LEGO set coming in 2022. Yes, you heard it right, LEGO Transformers, and not just any Transformers characters but Optimus Prime himself. Honestly, I have zero information about this, whether it is true or not. Nothing is confirmed at this point. If you would like to know more about the rumor details, then I suggest to check out their article. A little background information. I grew up with Transformers. That was my absolute favorite cartoon as a kid. In Hungary, we did not really have access to these TV shows in the 80s, but I was lucky enough to spend some time in Finland around the age of 6, and every day the highlight of my afternoon was the next Transformers episode on Sky 1. We are talking about the 80s, so it was still Transformers G1, the classic first generation. Shops were filled with Transformers toys. I wanted to have Optimus Prime so badly, but that was of course the biggest and most expensive one, so I got Mirage instead. I absolutely loved that one. I think I still have it at my parents' place in a box, but it's already broken unfortunately. So, Transformers was a core part of my childhood and yeah, as you can see, as an adult it did not change much. Seeing an official Transformers LEGO set would really be a dream come true, but why does this seem to be so unreal? The Transformers toy line was produced by Hasbro and Takara, and as far as I know, they still own the rights. I don't think I need to introduce Hasbro to anyone, one of the world's largest toy manufacturers besides LEGO and Mattel. I'm not sure if you know this, but Hasbro has their own building block toy brand called Kre-O. It might be well known in the US, but in Europe, LEGO is a much bigger brand for sure. Hasbro debuted their Kre-O Transformers line in 2011, and there were lots of sets released, but apparently there were no new releases since 2017. So, for the first sight, a LEGO Transformers set would be pretty weird for multiple reasons. First of all, the rights are owned by a competitor toy company, but on top of that, that company even produced several building block sets with this license a few years ago, and they are still available. LEGO has dozens of licensed themes and sets. They are of course probably the most popular themes like Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter and so on. But at this point I can't really recall any licensed themes from LEGO's history that was owned by another toy company. I'm far from being a LEGO historian of course, so if you know such licensing deals from LEGO's past, then please let me know in the comments. So what I wanted to say, such a licensing deal between LEGO and Hasbro seems to be unlikely. Why would LEGO want to pay a competitor and why would Hasbro want to let LEGO make the sets they could also produce themselves? One possible reason can be of course the lack of success with the Kre-O Transformers products or the whole Kre-O product line in general. They seem to be available here and there, but there's no proper website or up-to-date information about them, so apparently Hasbro does not put much effort in the promotion or maintenance of this line anymore. Selling the license to another company might be a much better deal for them in this case, even if it is a competitor like LEGO. From LEGO's perspective, paying to a competitor for the fees seems to be awkward, but again, this is a potentially successful new theme for them, so at the end of the day it can be a win-win situation. And of course it would be a huge win to us, LEGO and Transformers fans, although our wallets would cry for sure. I'm confident there's a huge market for these sets. Just take a look at the amount of custom Transformers builds on Rebricable.com. People would love to see these officially. I also hope if this becomes a reality, then LEGO does not stop at a single set. Imagine a whole fleet of LEGO Autobots and Decepticons. Oh boy, I think I need more shelves, a lot more. So folks, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think a LEGO Transformers set is even possible? And if it would become a reality, what characters, what builds you would like to see? Honestly, I'm not even sure about the building style. They really should transform obviously, so that might be more Technic-like, but of course a creator expert style build could have much more details. The next question is of course about the generations. Should it be the classics, the old school editions, or newer ones from the recent movies? Since there's a new Transformers movie coming out next year that was pushed from 2022, there's a slight chance that a potential LEGO set is related to that. Would you be happy with this version? Let's talk about all these in the comments, and if you like this video then please give it a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as the end of the month will be full of interesting new LEGO reviews, you really don't want to miss them. See you next time. Bye bye.